Bonjour, welcome to this video introducing our early years toolkit. It's aimed at nursery primarily, but it can also be used for the start of P1. And it's a collaboration between Highland, Argyll and Bute, the Northern Alliance, and also Power Language Schools. So the materials are designed as a precursor to starting Power Language in P1. However, they also can be used for any resource that can be used from P1 because the vocabulary is predominantly the same. We're focusing on core language here. As you can see through these speech bubbles and pictures, these are the sorts of language we cover. So it is an online resource. It's in Google Slides, so it's a virtual classroom. There's no logins required and anyone can access it. To get you started, I would suggest reading the introduction and further guidance, and that just goes through a bit of the background and how it's been organised. There are also resources here that you can have a look at to take things a little bit further, but I'm going to start off with the individual topics. So we've chosen language topics that are fairly generic. They can be done in any order. It's a pick and mix approach, so it's about doing what works for you and your learners. And the resource is both a resource that can be used with learners in nursery and in the classroom, but also for staff to use for their own professional development, for key language, and to see sorts of activities that you could do with your learners. So let's just dive in. The topics do kind of come from different contexts, such as well-being or promoting curiosity and creativity, or looking at numeracy. And these are all things which are part of early years framework for learning. So if we look at Bonjour, for example, each topic is set out the same way. We have got activities here, and if we click on this, you can see all the different activities that are suggested, and where there are things in blue, they are hyperlinked to either websites or resources within the toolkit. There are also videos, and they do come up here normally, but my internet is slow, so they're not appearing. But there are videos introducing the words and also an animation with an example game, for instance here, Copycat. And that's to show you an activity you could do with your learners, or you could play it directly to your learners. All those activities are in a planner, which can be accessed here, and that can be something that can be downloaded and printed. We've also got flashcards, which are pictures specifically aimed at nursery and P1, and ideas for how you can use languages in daily routines and how you can monitor and track progress as appropriate to nursery and P1. Up here you can see the key language in words, but also in sound. Okay, so you can teach yourself the key vocabulary. Each of these topics is organised in the same way. Over here you've got colours, here you've got feelings or emotions, numbers, Easter and Christmas, and then about France. Over here we've got extension topics. This one is organised slightly differently. So in this one, it's just a series of ideas for each of the different topics listed. My internet's a bit slow, so I can't show you that in detail. Okay. All the vocabulary that's contained within these different sections is all grouped together here in core vocabulary, extension, and instructions, more for your purposes, so you can see it in one list. In the pedagogy tips, we've got ideas for how you can use the different ideas for different games, inside and outside, activities you might do with rhymes and songs, a transition resource, taking things a little bit further with play. So there's quite a lot of different things for you to have a look at. Online support takes you to some other virtual classrooms similar to this one in the way they're set up, but looking at different areas, topics. And then for your own development, there are 2 sites here. One for professional learning. So if you wanted to do a French beginners course to develop your French further, you'd find that here. And a site to share with families and parents and carers to support children learning at home. So the idea is to have everything in one place, a one-stop shop, if you like. But please remember that there is a huge amount of resources and materials here. There is no necessity or compulsion to do languages at nursery, but children at this age are sponges and soak things up. And so it's an ideal opportunity to sort of dip your toe in, if you like, and have a go. But with 1+2 and national guidance for CFE, there are no E's and O's for nursery, only for P1. So the materials in here very much work towards those E's and O's by the end of P1. They work towards taking a play-based approach to learning with lots of different games and activities that can be done in normal everyday activities that are going on inside the nursery classroom or the P1 classroom. And they fit in with the realising the ambition theories and ideas as well. So have a go, have an explore, and I hope it's helpful. Au revoir.